Indonesia's political shift from the dominant rule of its first two authoritarian regimes to the rapid reform path to legitimate democratic structures with unwavering focus on sustained economic deregulation has been key to Indonesia's reclaiming its place as an economic giant of Southeast Asia. Positive future sentiment over the region's economic prowess and tremendous potential has been the general consensus at the 2016 World Economic Forum on ASEAN.
The forum's opening plenary has already seen vital, wide-changing discussions held between 5 Southeast Asian leaders and 600 business, government, and general public representatives. Hosting Prime Minister Najib Razak says the great opportunities from cooperation pledges will not miraculously materialize if not followed by continuous concerted efforts to reform, liberalize, and integrate the AEC. While Indonesia, represented by Vice President Yusuf Kala, has been working to ensure readiness through rapid infrastructure development. Kala says Indonesia is also working to increase agricultural production and create more manufacturing sector jobs. With a population of 250 million, combined with GDP upwards of over $800 billion, Indonesia certainly has enormous potential to assume leadership of the integration process, while being more proactive in implementing the process of transition. But Indonesia must first realize its own potential. Deputy Chairman of Lippo Group, Ginanjar Kartasasmita, says connectivity is paramount to Indonesia in steering the integration.
For Indonesia, the priority from the economic side is connectivity. How we can connect physically all these, the producing regions, consuming regions, East and West, and Java and also. So if this archipelago can be more connected, it will produce a lot to ASEAN because it will reduce costs. If Indonesia can reduce costs, I mean costs of the value chain in ASEAN will also be reduced by itself. Not to mention, the supply chains and things like that. As you know, study shows that reducing the barriers to supply chains is more effective than limiting tariffs.
Professor of Finance at the Singapore Management University, Aniko notes Indonesia has moved to putting some meat in the game through its infrastructure development, but it must realize the game has changed.
So the next wave for ASEAN is as an economic pact and cooperation going to the invisible, going towards the intangibles. So I think the next wave will be about connectivity. And that, I think, is something that appeals to the next generation of ASEAN.
Ginanjar adds Indonesia is on the brink of make or break for ASEAN, as the country makes up 40% of the total ASEAN population. Welfare is key to its contribution toward the growth of the region. Ginanjar also thinks Indonesia needs to address domestic inequality, which will inevitably be left behind in the economic integration revolution.
When we talk about the digital revolution, the new age, we are talking about a small segment of business or society. A large part of us probably are still in the second revolution, not even the third revolution. Part of us is still in the third revolution. A very small part of us now ready for the fourth industrial revolution. So as well, 40% of our workers work in agriculture. More than 50% of our workforce have only 6 years education. Now, how can, we said they are ready for this. So, but there are segments of our businesses like Lippo, in our society, like the young people who are living in Jakarta, they are ready to go there. So there are part of us who are ready, but there are parts of us who are not ready. But the bigger parts of us, they are not ready. So this is where the role of government comes in.
Although Indonesia has enjoyed a peaceful transition into democracy, the same cannot be said for the economy. A part of the country is ready to embrace disruptive technology and the fourth industrial revolution. But for the most part, some pushing and plenty of education are still needed. Florence Armain and David Austin for Jakarta Globe News Channel.